I'm looking for somebody to vote for.
Well, that's why it starts in the circuit courts with, following the law, not interpreting it. And then when you go to the appellate court, you have a lot of power to look at what the circuit courts have done. And if they start doing that kind of stuff, deciding what cases to hear and not hear because of what they want or their philosophy, or deciding them that way, they're making law. And all of those cases don't necessarily go to the Supreme Court. So that's why it's important, even at the middle level, that you have a judge that's going to follow the law, not interpret it on their politics or personal opinion or beliefs, and that's why it's so important. And you've got people like Lisa Neubauer now, even one of her things apparently is to send back, when you have these unruly defendants that are just obnoxious and they've got to have their trial, and you finally get through the trial, but you find they're not competent to represent themselves, so I appoint counsel to help them out, and so that they don't get a mistrial. She's sending them back saying, well, they wanted to represent themselves. And I said, but they're not competent. And the only way I can let them represent themselves, and I don't mean competent as in mentally wacko, I mean able to understand the process, able to go through the process without getting a mistrial and annoying the jury and flipping me off in court and things like that. It's got to be at least civil. And if they can't do that, and a lot of them can't, and she's sending those back. What am I supposed to do? Give them a mistrial? How many times do I need to try that case? And if you're a victim in that, you're going to go crazy. You finally get somebody there, the jury finally finds him guilty, and they send it back because he's an idiot and wants to represent himself, but he's going to get a mistrial. Then what do? Start over again? She's the same kind of person who's going to look at the Constitution and say, well, I don't believe in carrying guns, so any gun cases we're going to throw back or overturn.
I think what he's saying is because you guys in government see what's going on, we need more people screaming about it.
Right. And I understand, but as a judge, I do have limited powers as to what I can do because I'm not a legislator and I'm not,
But when the legislature is actually writing laws that are totally against the Constitution. I mean, I sit here and listen to Ryan and tell me this is general welfare.
Right.
Bullshit. I mean, I'm sorry, bullshit. And pardon me, folks, but I am so freaking angry.
And that's why the Attorney General is so important because they
Well, I'm not saying Holder is freaking, Holder, but the problem is you're wanting to sit here and you're standing here, and I appreciate what you're doing, trust me. But it's until those at the level in the judge in the cases sit here saying, I can read this document. The Constitution is an easy document to read. You start going back on the historay and you read, John Jay, the people are not just a finder of facts, they're the interpreters of the law.
Right.
Chase got impeached for that, but where are we at now? We can't interpret. I mean, every judge on the bench. Do you tell your instructions to the jury? You're not only the finder of the fact, you're the interpreter of the law. No judge does that.
Right.
Why not?
Well, because legally they aren't the interpreter of the law. We interpret the law, but that's where the judges
You're saying that the writers, Jay wrote straight up, Adams. If you go back and you read the founders, they write that not only are they the finders of fact, they are the interpreters of the law. Right? I mean, am I wrong there?
Well, I think you're splitting hairs. In a criminal court on a jury, you're not the interpreter of the law. You interpret the facts and how to apply it with the law. So I don't mean to split hairs, but so yes, you are interpreting it to some degree, but I decide which law you're supposed to use. And I'm the one who can throw it out if it's some ridiculous case before it even gets to the jury. But you have judges that don't do that either.
I understand, but when you just a minute, Randy, you say that on the civil side. Okay, let me back up then. Where's my interpretation of what Jay said incorrect? John Jay, first Supreme Court justice, said that not only are they the interpreters of the law, of the finders of fact, they're the interpreters of law. What did he mean if I'm incorrect?
Well, you as people decide what the law should be and what the Constitution says.
Our legislators do.
Well, but you influence them.
We don't.
We like to. Some of them, like Ryan's.
Yeah, it's general welfare. I mean, we have no representation.
Right,
and
it's
the
now out of
states
control.
are so
That's why
key.
you need people like Ryan, you need people that are going to follow that, Scott Walker, and that are going to get that back. And that's why it's important, though. You've got to have them on all levels. You've got to have people that follow the Constitution when writing legislation. You have judges that have to be willing to throw out legislation that doesn't follow and violates people's rights. And it's on every level. It's both federal, state.
Well, the state has abrogated their responsibilities 100%. I mean, you can go back to 1861. I mean, you can follow it. And the problem is I started digging ditches at 13. I wasn't supposed to have to educate myself to the degree that I've educated myself. I mean, if I was doing my job, and I've done it successfully all my freaking life, but now I'm having to come in here and ask these kind of questions, and I'm hearing stuff that says, well, yes, but no, yes, but no, yes, but no. And that's the problem that I'm having with any elected body right now, is that just trust me. I'm done with trust. And I guess if I need to see more passion, and I need to see more anger, because I'm not seeing it, and you know, the bench is what it is, and we got to, the people are fed up. And I don't know if y'all understand that.
Yeah.
And most of it's been done a lot of it's been done from the bench. I mean, this thing with Bill Benson that went through, these government certified documents cannot be admissible in court. I mean, that is a travesty of justice, period.